As of late on the YouTube channel, we've been doing a lot of pressure-focused YouTube videos because EA patched the most prominent defenses in our most recent title update, namely that 3-2 defense. Now, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, I did just put out a brand new Dime 1-4 defensive game plan, complete with 4-man left and right A gap, 4-man left and right B gap, 4-man left and right edge, and 3-man slot pressures that you can run courtesy of Gridiron Game Plan supporter and longtime runner of this defense, in fact, from launch this year, Medic. So make sure you guys go check that out. I've installed my coverages behind his blitzes to give you guys the best defense in the game, whether you struggle against bunch, trips tight end, bunch strong, Y off, trips nasty, you name it. We got pressures for everything, and you guys will have the coverage behind them to lock down the field. That I assure you. Now, today's video, I've got a nugget for you because we're going to be showing you guys a 3-man edge pressure or a 4-man B gap out of a formation that a lot of players tend to overlook, and that is going to be the 3-3 over. Now, the 3-3 over, there's a play in this that just recently got patched in the game, and it's known as the Edge Blitz 3. And with this actually gives the 3-3 over kind of a 4-3 even 6-1 type of look. I'll show this to you against various offensive alignments. We're going to start off with kind of a spread look, but this is a really, really cool formation that, in fact, they put into the game in college football. This blitz package is actually good in CFB, and I kind of was labbing it for CFB and was like, wow, this is good. I thought I could teach it to you guys here on the YouTube channel for Madden as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to call the nickel corner to the left in this defense. Now, with this setup, this is kind of our stock look. All we're going to do is crash our defensive line up. What that's going to do is that's going to crash Julius Peppers, our edge on the far left side, out. And that's going to help with the pressures, both of them, whether he's getting the pressure through the B gap or going to free up our nickel corner off the edge. Now, the really cool thing about this blitz is that we have power with this particular defensive lineman. This is technically our left defensive end because this is our left outside linebacker. This left defensive end is going to be able to go into coverage. Now, you see right here, we're a little bit limited. We have hook curls left and right, vertical hooks left and right, QB spy, bluff blitz, man coverage, and blitz. So to kind of start this off, I'm going to say, let's go ahead and just play a vertical hook to the left, because that's going to be kind of the best way to cover the left seam. Obviously, if you guys want to put a outside linebacker with coverage skills in at this position, that's something that is up to you. But your user on this play is going to be standing in basically the right B gap, kind of head up on the tackle. And when this ball is snapped, what you're going to notice is that you're going to get B gap from Julius Peppers on this play, sending only 4. Now, for whatever reason with this technique that we're mugging causes the offensive line to kind of look to the right. The edge loop angle from Julius Peppers that we talked about goes wide of the guard, so he can't recover to it. And the tackle is having affinity or drawn towards the nickel corner blitz. So remember, that crash up that we talked about was huge. Meanwhile, the defensive end that we dropped in coverage kind of also gives the left guard a little bit of confusion, and we're able to really get good pressure, sending only 4. So let's go ahead and kind of make this even a little bit better. So what we're going to do here is crash up. We'll go ahead and put our vertical hook. We can shade our coverage up or down, set zone drops, whatever you want. Now, over here on this side, we have another linebacker, or technically a defensive end that has the ability to get outside linebacker adjustments. So you see that he gets hard flats, curl flats, vertical hooks, seam flats. So with this particular defense, you see right here, we've already got a hard flat, but let's say that we wanted to do something coverage focused with him. Maybe we want to man up that middle receiver. We could go ahead and do so here, come down and stand the same way. This is now a 3-man pressure. When we snap this ball, notice how it ends up becoming a slot blitz where it comes in free, and we're able to get pressure, sending only 3. So taking a look at this, look at how we're able to kind of cover the field. See right here that we're able to cover the flat. We're able to get hybrid and man up. We have both flats covered, 2 hooks in the middle of the field with the one that we're dropping on the left and our user on the right. Cover 3 shell over the top. We're in a pretty good spot here with this, but that's not all. If you guys wanted to go into this formation, there's a package that gives you even more coverage flexibility. But before I break that down, make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Zam Madden YouTube channel. I drop content Monday through Friday in the mornings with shorts in the afternoons to help you guys get better at the game, absolutely free. And as I've mentioned, if this is not enough for you, I strongly urge you guys to go support over on gridirongameplans.gg. I've got so much more content than I could ever post here on the YouTube channel on my strategy website. Over 120 vault tips for Madden 25 since launch. We update the vault weekly, and you get all offensive and defensive game plans. And as I just just mentioned, I dropped a new defensive game plan on the website yesterday. You guys can also get into our Discord with over 2,000 members, attend lab sessions at no additional cost every single Wednesday. Ask me anything about the game. If I don't know the answer, we'll lab it until we do. And a lot of times those lab sessions are where I show what I'm working on for the future site content, so you guys can be on the forefront of what's to come. So make sure you guys go check it out. Best deal in the tip space, $9.95 a month unlocks everything on the website. So one of the things about the 3-3 over is that it technically gives this left of screen defensive tackle. That's because that's really what he is when you think about it. This guy right here on the far left is an edge. He's technically our defensive end. This is in most cases a defensive tackle. But because this is considered a 3-3 defense, really what we have is a defensive end, a defensive tackle, a defensive end. And then we have basically this player 90 is an outside linebacker, even though I've got him set up as a rush specialist. It's Peppers. And then these two players right here are off ball linebackers. So basically Peppers is a linebacker. And then the other three guys on the defensive line are considered defensive linemen. But in order to trick the game, what we need to do is we need to activate a package. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sub Peppers out and then back in. I'm going to go ahead and sub Fowler out and then back in. I'm going to put in really every player that I want on my defensive line. So we'll go ahead and put Sweat back in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we have, our coverage players that we really want on the field as well. So I sub in some linebackers. Then we're going to flick the right analog stick. You're going to want something that says basically DE flip or OLB swap, or something that basically triggers the game to think differently of the positions that are on the field. As I just mentioned, it's using the rush specialist on your depth chart. If you don't want to do that, that's why we sub those players in, and then we activate this package. So I'm going to choose something like the OLB swap. Now what that does is, as you recall, we had those defensive end adjustments that were giving us defensive tackle adjustments on the left. If we were to set up our adjustments and then get into the coverage dropping phase of this, we click on Fowler, look at his adjustments that he gets now. He now gets hard flats, curl flats, vertical hooks, seam flats, man coverage, QB spy, bluff, blitz, and blitz. It's a more well-rounded set of adjustments for dropping this player in coverage. As you recall, we had hook curl left and right, vertical hook left and right, blitz, bluff blitz, man coverage, and spy, I believe. Might not have even had spy. But what this allows us to do now is, let's say I want to, put him into a hard flat. And then I want to, go ahead and man up the slot with this guy right here because I don't want to give up a quick seam. This is going to allow you to do so. Now, the one downside with this is going to be that your crash up now no longer impacts Julius Peppers. So keep that in the back of your mind as you play through this. When Julius Peppers was part of the defensive line, he could crash up. So what we're going to be able to do here is drop him into coverage. And when we come and stand down here, you'll see we can still get looping pressure. It's not as effective, but it allows us to at least drop that player on the left into the flat. Now, if I wanted to spread my linebackers on this as well, we could. That would give us the flexibility to kind of, have him come from a wider stance. Maybe you move your user in just a little bit more. And you see right here, that gives us that pressure that we're looking for that loops around the end. And of course, with something like this, we also have the ability to, end up probably dropping this guy on the left as well. So again, we could do a lot with this particular defense. As long as you understand how to occupy the line, it's going to do a much better job. Now, again, pound for pound, what do you want to do? Do you want to have better coverage out of the defensive tackle, or do you want to have a better blitz out of your front four? I would say I would want a better blitz out of the front four. So probably stick with the default package and just try to be a little bit more creative with what you do coverage wise. So we're going to take it even a step further. So I'm going to call cover 4 quarters. I'm going to call this edge blitz. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out in it, and then I'm going to audible the quarters. And I want you to watch what happens. Notice how our edge blitz look stays the same. Okay. Now we can go ahead and crash out. I can bring this guy off the edge. I can go ahead still, if I wanted to, on this and put this guy into a vertical hook. We could go ahead and turn the left side of this defense into basically cover 2. So now we're playing a cover 6 style defense, and we can still get basically the same type of pressure out of this while playing a matching variant. So you can kind of dress this up however you see fit. Now, again, I think that you're going to be just fine getting kind of hybrid with this. If you wanted to man up both those guys individually, user over here and then switch stick over to that vertical hook, I think that that's a wise choice as well, because you could get over to this guy and then, you know, drop in coverage again, put a linebacker at that spot. If you have an outside linebacker with lurk guard, it's a great opportunity to do so. But again, this blitz is really, really good. Now, the 3-3 over is something that you will have to run in order for this to work. I don't believe this works the same out of nickel over. So take a look at Carolina Panthers defensive playbook. That's the one I'm in. You guys can run this as well as the 1-4 game plan that I put out on Gridiron just yesterday out of this playbook. But I'm going to get up out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Give it a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, this is Zan. Get the lab and good luck.